Jimmy Kimmel, well, he is facing backlash over an old interview with actress Megan Fox. Back in 2009, he made a joke about Megan's appearance in the movie Bad Boys 2. Watch.
I was wearing a Stars and Stripes bikini and a red cowboy hat and like 6-inch heels. And he approved it, and they said, you know, Michael, she's 15, so you can't sit her at the bar and she can't have a drink in her hand. So his solution to that problem was to then have me dancing underneath a waterfall getting soaking wet. And that's
perfectly wholesome.
At 15, I was in 10th grade. So that's sort of a microcosm of how Bay's mind works.
Well, that's really a microcosm of how all our minds works. But
the film's director, Michael Bay, is also under fire for over-sexualizing a teenaged Megan in the film and for claims that her audition for Transformers included washing his Ferrari in a bikini. But Megan is speaking out. In an Instagram post, she denies ever having to wash a car for an audition or do anything outside of that, what was in the script, and says she was never preyed upon in a sexual manner by Michael Bay. The director also posted a still from one of Megan's auditions to prove she was not in a bikini, writing that he thinks she's fantastic and is proud to have worked with her. Listen, Al, you know, Jimmy Kimmel has said a lot of controversial things, especially when it coming to women, considering, you know, the Man Show and all that. And I think a lot of people are familiar with his sense of humor, whether you find that funny or relatable. But I wonder how Jimmy Kimmel would feel now having a child. I mean, it's just so uncomfortable. Sam, that whole conversation made me really uncomfortable.
It should. It should. But you know what, Sam? A lot of things that we look back on 10, 15 years ago should have make us feel really uncomfortable. My girlfriend is rewatching Dexter, and to my surprise, the R word is used 3 times in Dexter.
Yikes. The
Black Eyed Peas had a song on in 2003 on the radio called Let's Get R Word. The things that went on, my personal hero, Dave Chappelle, had a skit about R. Kelly and his alleged thing with the videotape and the young girl and, you know, micturating upon her. You know what I mean by that?
Yep.
And so it's like all of these things, we should be ashamed. But you know what? People laughed during that clip, Sam. We are all complicit, and I think that we all feel a little bit dirty because things that we can't believe we laughed at, now we're embarrassed about, we're all looking back like, a lot of us let that ride. No one said anything at the time. So I think the fact that people are now is a good sign.
Yeah, Erica, are we just more collectively evolved, I pray, or are we just more PC?
We're faster.
Okay.
The information is disseminated faster. Think about if you watched a show in the 90s and you missed that show, then the idea of you re-seeing that show in the same exact episode could be years before that ever took place. Now we have clips and footage that are readily available, and there are people out there who are readily willing to uncover something based on something that someone says today. So everyone having so much access to this, we have to look at ourselves in the mirror in a way that the generation before us never had to. Because when I started in radio, I was 19. I remember being very uncomfortable with all of these young teens pop stars being sexualized in the way that they were being sexualized or spoken about, or the countdown to their 18th birthday.
Yep.
Because when I was 19, I didn't feel like a woman. So the idea of a girl who was younger than me being spoken of this way, it never made sense to me. But I was also a part of a culture where that was very normalized. And if I wanted to continue to be a part of that culture, then I was going to go with the flow, even if it made me feel uncomfortable, regardless of what I spoke out and said. So I think that when you look at the reflection back at yourself, a matter of just years before, it looks and feels very different than it ever did before.
And I'm so grateful for that. I really am. Hopefully, we will just continue to evolve and push forward.